Hey guys, what's up? It's been a couple weeks. I told you I wanted to try to get this going a little bit more. I have actually progressed to PowerPoint, so it's not the greatest. I did just throw it together in about 2 hours, so I apologize. But it's a pretty good little startup for me. I'm kind of excited that now I can actually afford it and different things. So we're calling it Life. This one's going to be mainly sports, which is what I really want to talk about. I did put together a lot about football this week. If you guys had any questions on the games, there was a lot of good outcomes, a lot of upsets already. Some big things going on. Lots to be excited about. NFL starting Thursday. So we got a lot to get into. This week, like I said, it's mainly sports. I might try to get one of these up, maybe about movies in a couple days, maybe recent movies that have come out and stuff that I've seen, with some previews of the stuff to come. So let's jump into it, I think. How about that? Alright, so I know it's a little blurry on this. I'm still working the kinks out, but here's the scoreboard from week 1. Lots of interesting scores to go off of. I'm just going to let that play. I know it's a little loud. I apologize. I'm still working a lot of these kinks out here. But, overall, a very solid week this week. Big things happened. Let's start with that. Let's start with that first one right there. That's a nice little take back that Duke ran all over Clemson last night. The quarterback and the running back both just put them away in the fourth quarter. But so I've got just a little bit of highlights going off on top there. Just different things. I'm going to start talking about that Colorado TCU game. Okay. Yes, Colorado was a 20-point dog. Yes, TCU should have won at home. And yes, Shedeur Sanders threw for 510 yards and 5 touchdowns, guys. That's pretty impressive start. I wouldn't buy into the hype just yet. I do understand that it's Deion's first game, and they were big favorites, but TCU lost a bunch of players last year. And really and truly, I don't know. I would say that's a good win, especially on the road, especially being Colorado. But let's not overhype it just yet. Let's win a few more games. Let's see them get past Nebraska. And, overall, let's just see if they have that much firepower. TCU didn't even have a good defense last year. And, it kind of showed really quickly against Georgia. So let's back that hype train down a little bit. I am not aboard yet. Bama's quarterback fumbling the snap and then taking it for 45? Pretty good one too. But Sanders is a good coach, but I think he needs to be humbled a little bit and realize that, hey, things are going to happen and you're not going to win every game. That's just how life is. So, a couple of other scores on there. I wasn't very impressed with Fickell's first game with Wisconsin. They struggled pretty heavily with Buffalo. Utah took care of business of Florida. That score doesn't really show the outcome. Utah ran all over them with a backup quarterback, and Florida's just not very good. They've got former Wisconsin's quarterback, Mertz, and he's all right, but he throws a lot of weird ducks and doesn't really get it to his players. Doesn't get them in the field. I was very happy with the OU score. I know it's blurry. I'm sorry. I'm working on trying to figure that out. But I wanted to get this up before I have to go back to work tomorrow. So, OU dropped 73 points. Dylan Gabriel looked very sharp. Jackson Arnold looked very sharp. And yes, I understand. It's Arkansas State. Yet again, it's hard to say anything into hype and stuff. Defense didn't allow a score. They should have gave up 6 points because they should have gave up 2 field goals. But it was just the time. Their offense was so fast, and they were flying around, and like the defense didn't even have time to really get set. It was just go, 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 which was cool. It was really cool to see. Now, can they do that for a whole season against everybody, you know? OU's got a decent test this week against SMU, so that'll kind of show a little bit of the stuff right there. The Tennessee-Virginia game, that was kind of an interesting one just for the fact that the lone survivor of the shooting that happened at Virginia, he was able to take out the flag, and, I mean, Tennessee took care of business, but it was kind of cool to see that. Yes, I could let you guys listen to that, but I just figured I'd just play it just because. Some other interesting scores: Ohio State, Indiana. Indiana was in that game the whole game. Ohio State pulled away late. Wasn't very competitive, but it was the fact that Ohio State is nowhere near as good as everybody thinks they are. Boise State, Washington, that's going to be kind of interesting because Washington's got Tulsa this week. Kevin Wilson's new offense leading Tulsa right now. And Kevin Wilson, as a OU fan, I know he can produce a lot of score and a lot of talent. So that's kind of an interesting matchup coming up. Couple of upsets that happened, and I don't know how I feel about. Oh, I don't even see it on there, but I might not put it. But I was going to say, Texas State beating Baylor is a big upset to me because Baylor should have just destroyed them by like 40. And the fact that Texas State didn't, or just came in, took care of business, got the job done, won. They dropped like 42. I think it's 42-31, and Baylor. Honestly, I think Dave Aranda's job's on the line. He went from being a Big 12 competitor to he just got blowed out by Texas State. So that's an interesting one to me. Keeping it in the Big 12, a lot of people had Tech on their radar as a good team this year. Well, Wyoming beat them in overtime. So that's going to be questionable if they're actually a really good team. Look at that 4th and 2. TCU diving everywhere. They can't even stop a 4th and 2, and that's how they lose. But, Baylor's another one of those, and they got Oregon this week, which is going to be a tough matchup. I mean, Oregon just dropped 81 points last week. I know it's against Portland State, but 81 is still a lot. I thought I had more scores than what I had, but I guess I don't. That's okay. We also had the whooping that Florida State put on LSU the other day, and it was not even close. Florida State, that second half, just demolished LSU. And LSU was leading at halftime 17-14, but they just took off. They were great on the ground. They were great passing. Florida State's probably a legit contender this year, I would say. And then you've got the game last night that also happened was the Clemson-Duke game, which is over here. You guys can see it. Duke took it to Clemson. I mean, Clemson turned the ball over multiple times in the end zone or in the red zone, And Duke, Duke looked the part. Duke was a very, very good team last year. They won 9 games. And, well, Clemson did not look ready for the season. And, well, that's, I guess, part of it. We're going to see some upsets this year. That's going to be nice to see. Not really a whole lot of, I would say, get used to being number one kind of situations. Anybody can beat anybody every week. So, really, I don't have a whole lot more for this week. This was a good, solid start to the season. I love that we have football back. I mean, you do have a couple of upsets here, but it's hard to judge from week 1 just for the simple fact a lot of people's not really playing anybody yet, which is okay. I mean, that's you kind of need those games where you're, getting, I would say not necessarily a scrimmage, but you're getting live reps, right? You're getting ready for the season. So there's a lot of good that comes out of week 1. It's not a whole lot of interesting matchups. One I really didn't talk about was North Carolina, South Carolina. I thought it was going to be a better game, and I thought Beamer and Rattler would probably have South Carolina getting pretty good, but Mac Brown's got North Carolina and Drake May ready, so I think they're going to be a decent squad this year. Really, that's all I got for week 1. I'll let you guys watch the video a little bit more. We'll turn the sound up here. This is just some highlights.
And that's what you want if you're Cardell Williams on that double move. A wide open receiver to throw to on Keith's shoulders makes the easy catch and scampers into the.
You guys are watching this. I'll be right back.
But he's not supposed to be able to do that. Remember, Sean Jackson, he's 5'9", 236. He's supposed to be the downhill. Williams scored in the first quarter. And he just scored. Definitely running back by committee. Looking for Bowers. They got him again. That's going to be a first down and more. Brock Bowers takes a hit.
Seth Anderson here with the inside cut, turns basically it's kind of a corner and go. And he uses on Young.
Team with pursuit discipline all night. Pressure calls. Big hit delivered on the outside. Eddie Hecker. Dart. Again, it's Trey Harris, and Harris with his second touchdown of the game. Dart, pump fake.
While we're watching these highlights, one thing I really didn't mention because it's hard to see the scores on there.
Another touchdown for Trey Harris. Are you kidding me?
We did get the LSU game as well, which OSU's got some quarterback issues, sure. I think Gunnar Gundy proved that he's the better quarterback. I also think that their offensive line is atrocious, and they're going to struggle. It would not surprise me if Arizona State beats them this week. So that was a nice grab.
He got it. Still going. Still got it. Bouncing off mean green tacklers. Look at him force his way inside for the touchdown.
Change positions. And they're banging into the end zone. And they tap the ball. That's Jaheim Ballard. Well, loads for the end zone.
Pass.
Already on first down. Here comes the rush. And it's a strip by Jaquez Evans.
Wow, I'm kind of just going over this and watching this video. One team that was really not very much talked about this week, and I actually thought they did do a pretty decent job, was Kansas State. You know, I know they only played SEMO, but they ran the ball like they do. They found a way to replace Deuce Vaughn. I think they're going to be a really solid team as well. That's nice. Right place, right time, guys. But
Looking for the end zone. And that ball is. That's a touchdown.
Ole Miss playing quarterback like a midi up there. They've got 3 quarterbacks. UCLA is going to be solid.
So Moore took the big hit. Claimed his ball and done it again. This is his third of the night.
I don't think of that. I don't remember who won the UCLA or Coastal Carolina game.
Second and goal. Emmanuel trying to do it on his own. Michigan State sideline to sideline. Very quick and Bradley again. The first to get there. He attacked the tight end.
UCLA did 27-13. My bad. Like I said, I was trying to get all the scores on there. That's why they're kind of blurry. And, I mean, you can see where it kind of cut off a little bit on some of them. So, I'll work with this some more. I haven't really got to play with PowerPoint in a long time. So, this is kind of still new to me. But it's up there. It's at least something. I'll do better when I have more time. I was on a trip for San Antonio, so it's been a minute. This video's got 7 more minutes. I'm not going to make you guys watch all of it. Skip. Skip a little bit here. Oh, that one. Nebraska, Minnesota, man. Nebraska has like no offense, and Minnesota, I mean, they've got all the defense, but they really lucked out to beat them. Feel bad for Matt Rule. I think he's a good coach. It's all right though. All right, I'm sorry. I'm kind of ranting over here. Let's go to week 2. So, week 2. Some of the big games this week. We've got, obviously, you can see the AP top 25 this week. I don't agree with Colorado jumping to 22. I really don't. Duke, sure. Duke was a 9-win team last year. Colorado beat a team that really lost a lot of players, and they beat them by 3. It's not like TCU laid over and died. TCU dropped 42 points. So I do not buy into the hype just yet. Let's see some more. Yeah. I don't understand why they jumped so high. Considering they didn't have a single vote. Not one last week. So yeah, I don't buy into that hype. Rest of it I pretty much agree with right now. Let's see some more games, and then I'd like to see where everybody sits after that. But yeah, I pretty much agree with it right now, other than Colorado. And maybe Clemson probably should have dropped all the way out, but, you know. Okay, so big games this week. We've got SMU, OU, and I did put all the spreads on there. I think SMU can hang with OU. They've got enough firepower. I don't know, with it being in Norman, if they'll be able to just keep up. That spread's probably pretty close. I would like to see, like, on OU's side, I would like to see them play faster defense like they did last week. I would like to see them hitting, and I would like to see major, I don't know, maybe just Gabriel continuing his run. I think if Dylan Gabriel plays like he did last week, they will come out on top pretty heavily. But SMU is not a bad squad. Obviously, they just made it to the ACC, which is something I should have added to this. I forgot about the conference realignments, but it happens, you know. I'm still struggling trying to get all this together. I want to do it for fun, so no biggie, right? And then Illinois, Kansas could be a good matchup for Kansas. Run into a defense for once, see what Daniels can actually do, and see if maybe they can get back to the hype train like they were last year. Oklahoma State, Arizona State. I actually think Arizona State's going to win this game. I think that Oklahoma State has way too many questions, and their offensive line is really bad. I don't understand where Gundy's head's at right now. He's the winningest coach in Oklahoma State. He's the second highest winningest coach in college football right now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe they can go into Arizona and beat them. But I don't see it. Notre Dame, North Carolina State. I will put North Carolina State, I will put Notre Dame on upset alert. North Carolina State's not bad, especially at home. That 7.5 spread, that's too much. I think it'll be closer. But I do think that North Carolina State pulls it off. Utah Baylor. This game, last week if you told me this game looks really good on paper. This week, I would stay away from it. I think Utah's probably better than Baylor by 7.5. With it being in Waco, it could be worse. But I'm going to take Utah. They get Cam Rising back. I like them pretty big, especially after Baylor just lost to Texas State. And like I said, I think Dave Miranda's job is on the line now. So, Nebraska, Colorado. Here's that game. Here's the game that I think should be. I can't believe I'm saying it's hyped. Okay. Can Nebraska's offense find a way to outpace Colorado's? Because their defense will do everything they can to keep them in the game. Colorado has no defense, so I'm not worried about that at all. In Boulder, I think I would take Colorado. 3.5 is probably right. I don't have any hype. I don't believe the hype in Shedeur Sanders. I don't believe in Dion. He's a good coach, but he needs to be humbled. I bet you it's a low-scoring game, probably, I will say, 17-14. And I'll take them. I'll take Colorado. I hate doing that. But, anyways, here's another game that really intrigues me this week. We got Ole Miss and Tulane. Both teams coming off really good seasons last year. Tulane obviously beat USC in the Rose Bowl. Ole Miss is not a bad squad. Like I said, they do have that quarterback by committee. They did just drop 73 points as well, though. So 73 points is pretty high. Tulane is a very good team. Yeah, I think I'll go Ole Miss, but I think it's closer than 7.5. I think I'll probably take them maybe, 35, 31. I bet you there's a lot of offense in that game, but that would be, 35, 31, I'll go Ole Miss. A&M Miami, I really don't care. It's a big game this week. I think Jimbo's one of the most overrated coaches out there. Miami's one of the most overhyped teams out there, always, every year. A&M 4.5, sure. I don't know enough about either team to really just say, okay, yes, let's go with that. Cy-Hawk Trophy, I think Iowa State's due for one. Iowa still has no offense whatsoever. I will take Iowa State probably 10-7. There's always a low-scoring game in that game. So 10-7, I'll take Iowa State. This is the game that actually intrigues me a lot. Tulsa at Washington. Kevin Wilson led offense in Tulsa. I don't see them being a 34-point dog. I think Tulsa's a lot better than what people will give them credit for. I do think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think Tulsa will be able to hang with them, but ultimately I think Washington does win it. Just for a simple fact, it's up there in Seattle, and it's hard to win up there. But Tulsa's keeping this one closer than the 34, for sure. Texas, Bama. Does Texas get revenge from last year's fluke? Yeah, no. Texas is overhyped again. I have watched Ewers over and over and over again. And this is not the OU bias in me. I'm not trying to be this way. It's what I've seen. He throws ducks. He overthrows his players. He has not gotten any better from last year. Give me Bama. Give me Bama by like 30. Well, let's make it realistic. About 17. I'll take Bama by 17. Okay, 2 more on the list there. Oregon Tech. Last week, like I said, Tech. I thought Tech was going to be a decent squad. I kind of bought into the hype a little bit, and I shouldn't have. They lost to Wyoming in overtime. Oregon's only a 6.5 point favorite going to Lubbock. Lubbock is a tough place to play. Give me Oregon, but give me them big. I like Oregon by like 15. Stanford at SC. I will never, ever understand why anybody puts a Lincoln Riley-led offense that high of a spread. They're not winning by 29. They'll win by 3. Because for the simple fact of the matter is, Lincoln Riley will keep it close. The game will start getting out of hand, and he'll start putting his foot off the pedal. He will start slowing down the offense, and then they'll go 3 and out like 3 times, and Stanford's all of a sudden in the game. So give me USC, but only by 3, not 29. All right. That was Week 2's preview. There's some other games out there, obviously. This was just the games I thought kind of needed to like draw attention to. Obviously, me being the OU fan, I had them highlighted first. Big games, though, could affect the 25 over there that you see. Really and truly, I think Florida State's probably underranked. I think Florida State's a really good team. So we will see. It's this week. Nothing really else I got to say about college right now. We are heading into week 1 of the NFL, which is actually where we're heading to right now. So here's a little hype video, just kind of get you guys going for you. Alright, so just a little hype video, kind of get us going for a sec. Anyways, just kind of see like a preview of what's going on. Here's the games, really quick. Any fantasy football player or Chiefs fan, I don't know if Travis Kelce's going to make it week 1. He did hyperextend his knee today. So good luck to anybody who may own him in their fantasy team. But they should be okay. They've got plenty of talent. But here we go. So Chiefs Lions starting us off Thursday, getting us going, getting us kicked off. You need the Chiefs, but it'll be a high scoring game. I think Jared Goff's got it figured out finally. So we got Bengals Browns. Give me Cincy. I know you guys want me to go into all the details on this, and I apologize. Like I said, I kind of just threw this one together. It's been a long time since I've done a PowerPoint, so got this going. But Bengals Browns, Deshaun Watson returned to the field. Joe Burrow might not play, which might change my opinion. If Joe Burrow doesn't play, the Bengals won't win. But as of right now, I will take the Bengals over the Browns. Eagles Patriots, I think that's a good matchup for Jalen to get going again. I think the Eagles are poised for a Super Bowl run. So I will take the Eagles by quite a bit, honestly. I mean, the Patriots' defense is all right, but the Eagles' offense is really good. Texans Ravens, give me the Ravens. Lamar Jackson's on a tour right now for vengeance. Texans are not very good, although they've got a good running back. Rams Seahawks, that's a good matchup. Matthew Stafford is getting up there in age. Aaron Donald's getting up there in age. Cooper Kupp may not play. He could be hurt. Geno Smith and that offense looked really comfy last year. Give me the Seahawks only because it's in Seattle. I think that's a very good game, honestly. Bucks and Vikings. I'm obviously going to go Vikings. I think they have too much talent offensively. This is Baker's last shot to me. I love Baker Mayfield, don't get me wrong. But I think this is highly his last shot. So if he can go out there and pull some miracles together, get a few wins, maybe prove that he is a number 1 quarterback, then it'll be a closer game than what I'm thinking. But I think the Bucs are going to tank and make him look bad, which is not okay, but it's part of life. Everybody's going to be after Caleb Williams. So I like the Vikings, but I think it'll be a closer game. Dolphins and Chargers. If you like offense, this is the game for you. Being in LA, I'm going to take the Chargers. I think that's all offense, no defense. Lots of scoring. A good way to start week 1. Panthers, Falcons. Yeah, I don't buy into the Bryce Young hype either. I think he's doomed. He has got no offensive line. They have no pass blocking. And, I mean, really, they don't have a very good receiving core. Give me the Falcons, because all they're going to do is run the ball and keep the ball away from them. So, yeah, give me the Falcons. Packers, Bears. Packers. I don't understand why everybody thinks the Bears are going to be better. I'm sorry, they are not. They are not good. Justin Fields is alright, but he's not great. Give me the Packers. Anybody who is playing this team right here I'm taking the other team. It doesn't matter. Anybody playing Arizona all year long, I'm taking the opposite team. So give me the Commanders probably by 14 to 17 points. Sam Howell probably have a good day. Cardinals are clearly tanking for Caleb Williams. Dropping Colt McCoy, which is ridiculous, and they got Kyler sitting all year. And yeah, give me the Commanders. Jaguars, Colts, give me the Jags. I think Trevor Lawrence is due for a good year. I think him, Calvin Ridley, Travis Etienne, I think they're going to have a really good year. I think getting away from Urban Meyer, getting on to the, I can't even think of his name, Doug Peterson, bandwagon last year really helped. They got some playoff experience. Give me the Jags. Give me the Jags to win that division. Cowboys and Giants. Woo boy. Well, last video, I actually took the boys to finish third in that division. And guess what? They have to get to the Giants. To get to that point, I'm taking the G-Men. Give me Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley over Dak and the boys any day. I could go on that, but I really don't want to rant. Sorry, guys. Niners and Steelers. That's an interesting matchup right there. Niners are probably the second best team in the NFC, in my opinion. The Steelers, they're in a very tough division. All these games outside the division really do matter. In Pittsburgh, that might be the game of the week, honestly. I'm going to go Niners, but I think it's a very close game. I think Pickett's got enough offensive skills to keep it close. Their defense, otherwise, is still solid. Give me the Niners, but close. Very close. Bills, Jets. Okay, here's the thing. Do we believe in the hype in Aaron Rodgers? Do we believe in the hype that the Jets are going to be amazing? Do we believe in the hype that Aaron Rodgers wanted more talent and he brought them all over from the Packers? I don't understand it. I'm going to go Bills in this one. I think unless Stephon Diggs is really that mad at Josh Allen and the Bills right now, that I think they are the better team. I think it's a close game. Just give me the Bills. I'm not set on the hype just yet. Two more games here. Titans, Saints. I wrote Titan. Oops. I don't know. That's another one. It's kind of hard to pick. Saints aren't very good, but neither are the Titans. Titans have been there before. I like Vrabel as a coach. Give me the Titans, but in a close game. Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill leading the way. And then Raiders and Broncos, I'll go Broncos, but probably a close game just because it's in Denver. And that's all I really got for week one hype. Some fantasy sleepers and people to stay away from. Sorry, guys. Got a random text. My sleepers that should be worth note and everybody should be looking at. Kenny Pickett, Pittsburgh's quarterback, obviously. Really solid year last year. He has the weapons around him to have a great year. So I would expect him to be a breakout player. Geno Smith, same thing. He was already kind of a breakout player last year. Well, they only added to their offense. They've got Kenneth Walker back. They've got Jackson Smith and Jigma, and obviously you've got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. So they only added to their core. So Geno Smith should be a good fantasy player for you. Here's one that you wouldn't think, or two of them actually in a row. Both these running backs on here. Dameon Pierce, who for the Houston Texans, all they're really going to be able to do this year is run the ball. They don't have a great offensive line, but he's pretty solid. He's like a bowling ball coming through. So he is a good fantasy sleeper. And Miles Sanders for the Carolina Panthers. Same situation. Obviously, he's really good in Philly. He's now in Carolina, and they're running a new offense. He's going to get the ball a lot. So Miles Sanders would be a good fantasy sleeper. Then I put on 3 receivers just because. Especially with the news with Travis Kelce today. Sky Moore should be Mahomes' leading receiver. So that should be a good fantasy pick. Calvin Ridley hasn't played in a year. He was a really great receiver when he did play. I think Trevor Lawrence has got a great weapon in Calvin Ridley. So, yeah, definitely pick him up. Christian Watson for the Packers. I think that Jordan Love he's solid. He's great. He's not the greatest, but he's a solid quarterback out there. And Christian Watson's going to see the ball a lot thrown his way. Keep away. My first one is the Arizona Cardinals. Like I said before, they are clearly trying to tank. There is some very bad things going on in Arizona. People like Hollywood Brown and James Conner and Zach Ertz, they're not going to see the amount of, I would just say, offense that they are used to. So those would be probably your three big ones. I would just stay away from the Cardinals in general. And yes, I did say Baker Mayfield on here. And I hate saying that. I love Baker. I think he's one of the OU's most exciting players that I've ever got to watch. But I also do think that he's got the talent around him to be great. But he's got to be able to do this. He's going to throw the ball a lot. He's going to air it out. Now, is he going to be able to make completions? Is he going to get it to his team or is he going to get it to the other team? I hate saying it, but yes, I got to put Baker up there. The next one, Jonathan Taylor, running back for the Colts currently, who is in holdout with a very bad situation. I don't think he plays this year. I don't think he gets traded. I think the Colts are going to keep him as just because they're petty. Jim Irsay is that kind of person, so I would say clear from Jonathan Taylor, period. Russell Wilson. Sean Payton's a great coach. Russell Wilson regressed a lot last year. I don't think he's going to be a great fantasy player. Now, with that being said, I think his receivers have great year, just I don't think Russell Wilson does. Allen Lazard would be one of those that Aaron Rodgers brought over to the Jets with him. I would stay away from him too. I just think that Rodgers has a lot of targets now, and he's not going to be a clear number one anymore. I think that he's probably at number 4, honestly. So I would stay away from Allen Lazard. Eagles running backs. The reason I put that up there is, one, Jalen Hurts is going to get the majority of touches, no matter what. There's 6 running backs, and they had to drop 3 of them on the Eagles roster. So I'm staying away from a running back field like that you don't know who's going to get the ball. It's going to be running back by committee. Same thing can be said about the Niners, but the Niners, I think they will spread the ball out a little bit more. And then those rookie quarterbacks, I did bring up C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, and Will Levis. I would just stay away from the rookies this year. They're not going to have very good years. They don't have good offensive lines. So, and then Will Levis obviously isn't even starting. All right, that's the end of the slideshow. We could bring up some baseball. Really, I haven't kept up with baseball very much. There's been a lot of, I don't know. It's hard to keep up. So, baseball is boring to me these days. I do know the Braves and the Orioles are leading the charge. The Braves have 90 wins already. The Orioles at 86. So that's your AL and NL leaders, or I guess NL and AL in that case. But I just don't keep up with it anymore. Some softball news: Patty Gasser got the number 1 recruit out of for pitching next year. No big news there. Conference realignment still going on. SMU, Cal, and Stanford all going to the ACC, which I think is good for all 3 of those schools. But really, there's not a whole lot else going on in the sports world besides football right now. There's not any big fights coming up. I looked at that. Really, soccer kind of going on. You got FIBA going on. Wish the U.S. held on. They're surviving right now. But there's not a whole lot just major sports going on. So besides football, maybe Friday I'm gonna try to get a video up about. I don't know. Oh, movies. Sorry, I'm gonna try to get a video about movies. Maybe hype up this week a little bit more. I will also do better on PowerPoints. I'm trying to play with it now that I actually have access to it. So there's that. But if you guys had any questions, have any ways of letting me know that I need to do better or what I need to do better, go ahead and let me know. No big deal. I'm not going to have any hurt feelings over this. Like I said, this is just for fun. That's what I want to do in life. I need to get away from retail because that schedule is awful. But yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. This is sports, or I guess this is life. And I will talk to you guys hopefully Friday. So we'll see you later, alright? Bye, guys.